today I'm going to be showing you how to use detailed rubber stamps and watercolours to be able to make images that look as if you've painted them yourself. So first what you need to do is use a water-based ink and make sure you've got your watercolour card. Press that down. Make sure that you're getting as much of the image pressed as you can, but don't worry if you don't get a brilliant image, because remember, we don't want that outline to be shown in our final drawing. Okay, so you can see here that it's a bit blotchy, but that's okay because we don't want that crisp outline with these. So the main parts of the image, in this case it's the facial features, I just pencil in to make sure that those will stay, because as I'm adding water, some of that background is going to become dispersed. So I'm using aqua markers from Spectrum Noir. I love these markers, they're very vibrant colours, and the way that I use them is possibly different to how you normally use watercolour paints. Because they're so pigmented, what you can do with them is put them on straight onto the paper, and then using a water brush or just a brush with some water on it, you can then go in and disperse that ink around. It dissolves, the ink dissolves, and you can spread that around. You don't want to go back to that wet work with your aqua pens, because the water will just soak back up into the pen. So if you're wanting to add a bit more colour, then all you need to do is just paint, as I've done here, onto a glass mat or a tile, and then you can pick that colour up using your water brush and add it onto your image. Simple as that. So here you can see what I'm doing is putting in my base colour, and then I'm adding some of a darker shade to get some nice shadows in there. I've used chestnut and sepia. Then using a clean paper towel, you can just dab off any excess, making sure that that image is nice and dry if you're wanting to go back in with your pens. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is use the fine tip, which is a fantastic feature of the aqua pens, because they really help you get those fine details easily, rather than having to use a thin detail brush, which many people find very difficult. It's much easier to be able to use a pen, and getting those fine details, especially on those facial features, that's what's going to really make this particular image pop. Then you just go back in again with your water brush to just dissolve any harsh lines that may be there, and allowing that then to merge in with the rest of the background that you've done. I don't go back in with a paper towel now, because what I'm wanting to do is just to naturally let that dry and let the whole watercolour spread into each other, and that's how you get that wonderful watercolour finish that we're looking for. Houdini. Okay, so while I'm letting that dry and spread, I'm gonna work on the little bit of foliage that we've got going on here that he's sitting on. It's gorgeous. So what I'm doing here is I'm just putting in some darker orange tones at the base, and then I'm using my water brush to then push that up into the tops. So each grain of this will have a darker bottom for the shadow and then lighter at the tops. Just taking off some of the excess water because I'm going to go in now with my lighter yellow, the sunflower, and I'm going to put that on the tips of each of the grains. And then what I'm going to do is then blend this downwards with my watercolour into that marigold orange that I used. Okay, so whilst that's it's dried off a little bit, I'm now going to go back in with the orange marigold, and I'm just going to darken up using the fine liner the base of these grains to really highlight, well, put in the shadows of each particular grain, making the image stand out and become more 3D. Gradually, the grains are starting to pop more. Again, going over with just a little bit of water with my water barrel brush, just to dissolve any harsh lines and let them flow. Okay, so I'll let that dry naturally. I'm now going to go in with my chestnut and really pick out the shadows of this particular image. So I'm going around certain edges. I'm not going around every single edge, okay? This is not going to be an edged drawing. I'm just picking out particular little parts of the edge, particularly at the base of any of the corners where the shadows would be, and possibly on the edges, as you can see. But you can see I'm not doing the whole line. I'm not drawing around each particular grain. And again, go in with your water barrel brush or just a brush with some water on it. Make sure that you're not using too much water. You want to dab off any excess on a dry paper towel if you're using just a normal brush that's dipped in water. So now my little mouse has perfectly dried, I can go in with my sepia fine line, and using flicks I can put in some little hairs and whiskers coming off, just to give him that lovely furry appearance. And again, going in just with a little bit of water, just to dissolve any really harsh lines. Using flicks again. I almost forgot his tail. There it is. So with this I am actually going to outline it, because it needs to particularly stand out from the other. So I outline with the dark brown sepia colour, and then I'm going to fill that in with the chestnut. This is where you want to be careful with the amount of water that you're using. If you're wanting that to be not spread, you want to make sure that you've not got too much water. And there we are. Got my little mouse. Hope you like it. Hope you enjoy. If you're finding my videos helpful, please like and subscribe to my channel. Turn on notifications and visit my blog if you want to join the mailing list, and I'll let you know when new ones are coming. Thanks a lot. Bye.